Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the best settings in Black Ops 4 because it's always requested. I believe it was the top comment on like one of my latest videos. People want to know what gaming equipment I use, what sensitivities I use, what different sort of settings I use in this game. And now just because I use certain settings, I'm going to talk about what I use, but also what I think is best for everyone. Because if you have perfect aim on a 10-10 sensitivity, you should stick with that. You know, it's personal preference. It all depends, but I'm going to talk about some of the settings and go through each of them, your controls, your graphic, and your audio settings, as well as talking about a bit about gaming equipment in this video. So if you could hit 1,500 likes, that would be absolutely awesome. I will have another video out later tonight. Smack that like button. Let's go for 1,500 likes. Subscribe if you guys are new. I'm on that road to 1 million subscribers, hopefully during Black Ops 4. So click that subscribe button if you guys are new, smack a like, and let's get right into it and let's talk about this stuff, right? So first of all, let's get in and let's talk about the actual in-game settings first. We'll knock out some of those, and then I'll talk about some of the actual equipment, headsets, controllers, stuff that I use as well, right? Because I know people want to know about that. So first of all, these are straight from the Black Ops 4 settings. Under controls, look inversion, I run standard. That is something that you don't want to mess with. If you play look inverted, it's basically where you play like driving a helicopter. It's kind of like backwards. I know one of my close friends plays on it, but definitely for most people, you just want to leave that how it is. Look sensitivity. Now, for me, I run a 6.6 sensitivity in this game. I really think that that mid-level sensitivity is good, and I'll probably might make another video completely talking about sensitivity because there's so many different options. But basically what you want to do is you want to get your sensitivity to be pretty high while also maintaining almost perfect or flawless accuracy. And the reason why I think a little bit of a lower sense is better in this game, as traditionally Call of Duty pros always go towards like 4 to 5 sensitivities, maybe 6 or 7 on the higher scale, but they don't usually go much higher or lower than that. And in this game, your aim needs to be flawless because those gunfights are extra long, so you need to hold that trigger down on them, control the recoil, and you basically just need to have better aim because of the fact that people are going to have more health, and if you get lazy, you miss a couple bullets mid gunfight, that can cost you the gunfight. So that's basically what I use. 6.6. Like I said, I'll probably make a whole video just analyze the sensitivity because I could sit here and talk about it for 20 minutes, but there's so much more to get through in this one. But that's what I run, and let me know in the comment section down below, what sensitivity do you guys use and why? I really do think that if your sensitivity is super high and you have bad aim, drop it down. And always when adjusting your sensitivity, always move it up or down 1 or 2 slots at a time and sort of test them out. I also tend to keep the horizontal and the vertical the same. That's how I've played in every single game that I play. I just find that continuity and flow is very, very nice. Next, target assist and aim assist. You just want to leave both of those on. Of course, on console, you basically get aim assist in this game where your aim down sights will sort of drag to an enemy. It's not as strong as aim assist in zombies or anything like that, but it's something that you want to have on because if you have that off, it's basically a disadvantage. And the only strength is that sometimes, maybe if you're running into multiple enemies, aim assist could mess you up, but that's like a 1 in 1,000 or 2,000 situation. And every single gunfight, aim assist is going to be helping you. Leave both of those on. Target assist, aim assist on. For 99.9% of players should have that on. Next is vibration. Now, personally, I don't have any vibration in my controller. I have controller vibration off, and the reasoning behind that is I used to always play with vibration up until maybe like 2012, 2013, and everyone was recommending for me to take it off, and I was kind of stubborn, saying, you know, I kind of like the vibration feel when I'm shooting the gun, but I did take it off, and honestly, I recommend it to everyone. It does feel like you're not even shooting when you first turn that vibration off, but over the time, over weeks, months, and years, your aim will just get better because you don't have that extra third-party shaking, which, of course, you know, you don't want to be, if you think about it in any other, like, real sport or something like that, would you want, you know, the basket to be shaking when you're at the free throw line? No. So vibration off is definitely the try-hard way to go. Next, I use sprint cancels, reload off. I like to have gung-ho. I like to sprint while reloading and run out of tough situations in this game. So I have that off. Stick layout is default, and then my triggers are default, and my button layout is tactical. I think tactical is the best button layout because it sort of allows you to crouch very easily while using that right stick. It basically switches from the B or the circle button over to that right stick, R3 I think it's called, as your crouch button. It was a lot better in games where you could drop shot. You really can't in this game, but it's still very, very strong, and it's what I'm used to, so I play on tactical right there. Next, let's talk about graphics. As far as graphics, I use just 50% brightness. That all depends on your actual monitor, more or less. Colorblind mode, I use it off. That's just a personal preference. And with players indicators, I like to keep the full name on, just because you can sometimes spot a guy hiding in a bush just because his name pops up or something like that. Split screen, horizontal, safe area, yeah, all that you can just leave normal. And then for next we have audio. And as far as audio, what I like to change about that is I like to bring the music volume to 0. That's just a personal preference. I like to hear the game as it's going on, and I don't like that music to be blasting even when I'm at the menu. And then everything else is pretty much on 10. My controller sound is off because controller making sound is just another distraction or disadvantage. You should want all the sounds coming to your headset. And then I basically have my master volume at 10. And my audio preset as Super Crunch. This is the biggest key of the audio settings, is you want to change your audio preset to Super Crunch, because it just, it's from all sort of, I think since Black Ops 2 with Treyarch games, that was the setting that was tested out and was allowed to basically make you hear the enemies the best. I haven't really tested it this game. I don't know if anyone has, but I'm just assuming Super Crunch, it rings a bell to me, and it's something that I think is good to use. Now, those are settings in game, but I saw people always ask me about my actual equipment as well. Now, do I think gaming equipment is important? Certain things, yes. Headset is important, but it doesn't really matter what quality of headset you have. Whether your headset is $30 or $300, I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. Just crank that thing up and sort of sound horror your enemies, listen for footsteps, listen for people reloading, gunfire. There's so many different audio cues, the announcers that are important in a game like Call of Duty. I use the Astro A40s as my headset, but like anything will work. $30 Turtle Beaches, 50, I think there might be like 50, like the cheapest ones, but that's what I started off with. And there's, for a headset, just get what you can for a headset. Next is a monitor. People always ask about a monitor. For a TV, you want to play on a smaller monitor. These are ideal. Not everyone is going to have all these awesome equipment, but I do think that having a smaller monitor, like a 20 to a 25-inch gaming monitor with a fast response time, will give you a huge advantage over you don't want to play on like a 60-inch flat screen, because of how big the screen is, it's basically making it harder for your eyes to track people, and your reaction time will be a little bit slower in gunfights with that. So I think having a small monitor is very, very important. Headset is important, but I don't think the quality is that important. And then with my controller, I use a SCUF controller, and I have for probably 5 or 6, maybe even almost 7 years now. I think like 6 years. And I use Control Freaks as well. And what they are is basically a Control Freak is a little bit of an extension on my thumbstick, where I use, they come in packs of 2, but I use only 1 on my right thumbstick, because I don't really need precision sprinting, but I do like precision aiming. And that sort of increases the field of view of, or not the field of view, but the range of motion, I believe it's called, and allows you to be a little more accurate. It's a personal preference for me. Once I use Control Freaks, I really can't play without them, and they're only like 15 or 20 bucks, plus you can use code GOBLIN for a discount on those. Link in the description to the controlfreak.com. And I also use a SCUF gaming controller, which I'm sure most of you guys are familiar of. They're pretty much every pro player uses them, and every really try-hard player. They're super competitive, or they're tournament legal, made for competitive, and the cool thing about them is that you can jump shot because of the paddles on the back while keeping your aimers on and keeping your aim on target, right? So you can jump shot, you can panic punch people, panic knife, while keeping your aim ready because of the paddles on the back. And that's from scuffgaming.com. You can also use code GOBLIN for a discount there. And actually they did send me a new controller, a couple new controllers, and a lot of people always want to see like my actual controller and my actual, the Control Freak on the controller, exactly what I use. So I'm going to show you guys that as sort of like a, sponsored segment to end this video off, because I am sponsored by SCUF and of course Control Freak. Use code GOBLIN, and the links for those will be down in the description. And yeah, I'll leave you guys with just me showing off my controller. I filmed this on my iPhone, so the quality is probably not the best. The mic quality is probably not either. But yeah, check it out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one, guys. So speaking of SCUF controllers, they actually sent me this basically SCUF Vantage, which is absolutely insane. I have some other SCUFs as well, but this is the latest care package they sent me, which was crazy. Came with a note, prepare to win, a t-shirt, a lanyard, and then this is the actual what you get if you are to buy a SCUF, which is the SCUF Vantage controller. This is just one of the many that I have, which I'll talk about and show you guys as I pull it out. As you guys can see, this is, oops, as I drop it, this is not the one that I use, the Vantage. This one is shaped, like this is a PS4 controller, but it's shaped more like an Xbox controller. And this one, it definitely feels in your hand sort of like an Xbox controller, just based off the look, which is good for people that are used to that sort of style. 4 paddles on the back, so every button on the front is converted to the back. If you can master this, you can be an absolute goat with this controller. It is really, really crazy with the 4 paddles. However, traditionally, I've just been on a more PlayStation sort of controller, and that's why like this is what I use as of right now. You can see it's still a SCUF controller, 2 paddles on the back. The grip I really like, but this one is what I use because it fits into my hand better, I think, as a PS4 controller. And you can see I also have another version of that, which is the same thing as basically like a backup, which is super duper cool, because you want to, you know, stick to the same sort of controller. Now, if you're wondering what's on this right stick right here, this little this is a Control Freak, and basically that elevates my thumbsticks. As you guys can see, it is kind of dirty, so I don't want to show it off too much. But Control Freaks are great, and they also help you with basically being able to aim better, increasing your field of view. And for SCUF products, SCUFgaming.com, for Control Freak, you can use code Goblin for a discount on either of them. So yeah, I rock with these on SCUF Gaming. You could check out, they have just so many different designs. They also sent me some replacements of different thumbsticks and triggers, just in case I need to replace a black version, a red version. And then they also sent me what is over here. Oh, basically some like cover plates for the controller if I want to change the color up of it, because it's kind of a basic color. But yeah, these controllers are absolutely amazing. Prepare to win, the lanyard. You know, just shout out to SCUF for sending me this care package, for being such a good sponsor of mine. Guys, these controllers give you an advantage. The ability to hit these while shooting. These are completely tournament legal. They're absolutely amazing. Check out SCUFgaming.com. Take a look at the Vantage. Take a look at the PS4 ones, the traditional ones. These ones are called the PS4 or 4PS Pros. And you know, just decide if you want one. Use code Goblin for a discount. And yeah, check them out. SCUF Gaming, guys. Definitely will give you an advantage in the game. All pro players pretty much use them. It's completely tournament legal and everything like that.